guys, it's Juliette, and today I have my show recommendation video for you guys. I know on my lives you guys ask me a lot like what I'm watching and what shows I recommend, so I thought this would be a really fun little video to do because I do watch a lot of TV. So these are going to be my favorite shows from Netflix, Hulu, and CBS All Access. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the show, and then I'm going to give it a little description, and you guys can see if you like it for yourselves, because I know trailers just don't do justice, and also we're in quarantine, so there's nothing to do, so I'm going to get you guys on some good shows. My all-time favorite show is The Vampire Diaries. You probably know it. It is so freaking good. It's basically about this town called Mystic Falls, and it's about vampires, obviously. We have witches, we have werewolves, we have so many different things. We have hybrids and heretics, but you won't know what those are until you watch the show, but it's really good. There's a lot of love interest, there's a lot of hot guys. It's just a lot of good-looking people, and it's super interesting. It has 8 seasons, but it is so good. I highly recommend it. I don't really know how to say, like, the description without spoiling it, but it's basically about this guy named Stefan, and he's a vampire, and he comes back to the town called Mystic Falls, and there's a bunch of creatures and stuff, but they kind of went away, but they're kind of all coming back to the town, and he sees this girl that looks exactly like his ex-girlfriend that died, and he's like really confused. I mean, I don't think he's super confused. You'll understand why he like doesn't think this is super weird, if that makes sense, because there's like doppelgangers. But he comes back to the town because he sees her, and he's like, you look exactly like my girlfriend. Like, I have to know who this girl is. He pretends to be like a high school student when he's like 100 and some years old. But it's super good. The show will not leave you bored. There's so much stuff that goes on. Obviously, if you don't like blood and gore, you probably won't want to watch this. It's not too gross, but you know, it is about vampires, so there's a lot of blood, obviously, but it's just super good. This show will make you cry. This show will make you happy. This show will make you angry. I like a show that gives me some emotion, but it is super good, so I highly recommend watching. And then after that, you can watch the originals, and then you can watch Legacies if you want. But honestly, I just like The Vampire Diaries. No hate on the other shows, I just never really got into the other ones, but Vampire Diaries is super duper good. So if you want to watch The Vampire Diaries, that is on Netflix, but the next show I'm talking about is Elite, and that is also on Netflix. This is a super duper good show, but if you are not 17 or older, do not watch. There's some adult topics and themes in it, but just forewarning you. This show is super good. It takes place in high school. It is a murder mystery type thing, and it's so good because oh my gosh, there's so many twists and turns. It starts off basically like in the future, I guess, but like leading up to the present, and then it will show you like what's about to come, and then it all just like leads up, if that makes sense, and then you get like the big thing and you're like, oh my god. It is so brilliant how this show is done, because just the littlest clues, like little things will happen and you won't think anything of it, but then once you get to the big major thing and everything like unravels or whatever, you'll be like, oh my god, like all those little things led up to this huge like big occurrence. So just like be very like nitpicky on things, but it is so good. It will blow your mind. Season 2 is even better than season 1. There's 3 seasons to this, but it is so good. You will love the cast. I absolutely love like everybody in the cast. They are such good actors and actresses. This is also a Spanish film, so you can like put it in captions, or you can have it have like a voice overlay. That's how I did it, but it is super good. So the next show is called Control Z. It is also on Netflix, and this really reminds me of Elite kinda. That's why I like it so much. It's also a Spanish show, so like I said, you can put it in captions, or you can just have voice overlay, or if you know Spanish, you can just watch it in that, but I don't, unfortunately. I wish. But it is just such a good show. Sorry if the angle's different, my phone decided to fall, but let's just keep rolling. So this show takes place at school, and there's either like a meeting or an assembly, and so everyone's there, the teachers are like presenting or whatever, they have like screens, but there's a little twist. Someone decides to hack the school and hack everybody's phones and like the Wi-Fi, so they know everybody's secrets, and this person just wants to get everybody's secrets out, like everything that's on your phone, they're putting out there, and they don't care if it's the deepest secrets ever. Like, that's better for them. And it's so sad because some of these secrets should not be shared by anybody but the person that like these secrets are coming from. They're like really like crazy secrets. They're not just like no chill secrets like, oh, Bob kissed Lily. No, it's like crazy crap, and it will get you like make or break. Like nobody will like you at school and stuff like that, and it's super sad, but they end up finding out who it is, and a lot of drama, and like people want to find out who this is. Big fights break out because they are just super mad at whoever is doing this, and then everyone's fighting because people are like, haha, you did this, and they're like, oh my god, I'm going to hurt you. Like, it's just crazy stuff, and it's super good. This next show is on Netflix as well. It's called The End of the Effing World. Super good show. It's basically about this boy that thinks he's a psychopath, and I know what you're gonna think. When I'm saying all these details, you're gonna be like, this show sounds awful. I do not want to watch it. The first kind of details sound really weird, and it sounds like something no one would want to watch, but it gets good, and it's not all about this topic, but I'm gonna still have to tell it because it kind of like goes together. But it's about this boy that thinks he's a psychopath, and he kills a lot of animals. He's like a hunter, but he's like, I want to kill something bigger because he thinks he's crazy and doesn't feel anything. So he's like, I wonder if I kill somebody, will I feel something? Sounds really fruity, but he meets this girl because she like comes up to him and they start talking, and I think she like likes him, like him or whatever. You know, I can't talk, but you know, she kind of likes him, and so she's like, you gonna be my boyfriend basically, and he's like, whatever, I'll go along with it. And he's like, this is the perfect person to kill. I can kill her, get close to her, pretend like I'm her friend, and then kill her. Yeah, sounds crazy. And so they get to be close and get to know each other, and their lives are kind of crappy, to be honest. I mean, I feel like this boy's life isn't really crappy, but he did lose his mom, which is awful, so that is kind of the crappy part, but his dad's trying to do the best for him, but I just don't think he's very appreciative. And then his friend or whatever has a crappy life. Like, she has a stepdad that's weird. Her mom doesn't really care about her. She's all about like her younger siblings. So they decide, let's just leave together. We're gonna be best friends, and we're just gonna leave this crappy town. Let's go. So they end up leaving, and they get into a lot of trouble along the way. I can't really say because it will give away what's going on, but they get involved with the cops, and a lot of crazy crap happens. There's 2 seasons to this show, but it is so good. So this next show I just started watching. It's called Tell Me a Story. It has Paul Wesley from The Vampire Diaries and Danielle Campbell from Originals, so they kind of like work together, so it's kind of like the same shows or whatever, but it is super good. I just started watching it. This is on the CBS All Access. I know it's kind of annoying because you have to have a subscription to that, and I don't feel like there's anything else really on CBS All Access except that show. I haven't really got into it yet, but I really like the show so far. It's basically fairy tales that get twisted. I can't really say because I'm only on like the 3rd episode and we haven't really got into like all the fairy tales, but there's like the 3 Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, but they're twisted stories. So they're like your fantasy stories and whatever, but it's actually like twisted and like scary, and it's like creepy, and it's like not perfect like you think like a fairy tale would be. It's like the total opposite. Super duper good. Highly recommend. There's only 2 seasons. This next show is on Netflix. It's called On My Block. Oh my god, I love this show. It has 3 seasons, and it's about basically just these teenagers, 8th graders going into high school, and they think everything's gonna be perfect and they're gonna be super cool, but you know, that never ends up happening. But they're just really close friends. They do go through some ups and some downs, and some crazy crap happens. They basically live in, I think, California, but like in the bad part of California. Like there's a lot of gangs. They get in a lot of trouble. They get in trouble with gangs and stuff. They don't live in the best place. They're not very rich, but they are a good group of friends, and it's super funny. But it's also like serious. So that's all the shows I have. I hope you guys really enjoyed, and I hope you guys found some really good shows to watch. I really like these shows. I think they're super duper good, and it's really hard for me to find good shows, so I thought I could help some of you guys if you haven't watched any of these. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Subscribe, and make sure to turn on the post notification bell so you guys can know when I post. And I love you guys so much. See you guys next time.